good morning. Welcome to Earth Science Review. Professor Mitchell here, and I'm here to help you improve, be it you're studying for the Regents, improve your Regents grade that's coming up in June, or just improving your annual grade in the course of your Earth Science right now in your studies. So the point is, I want to start off by saying that if you're having any issues with Earth Science and you've been trying to study and you've gone to class, you're applying yourself, and you're having trouble, and like I say, applying yourself, at least you're looking at material, you're making the classes, you're trying, but still with an issue, it's not all your fault. And the reason I say that is you may at an early age or in a couple of years prior been introduced to some sort of sciences such as, the planets. Oh, here are the 9 planets. And only to find out there's really technically 8 planets, not 9. And you go from that and learning about plants and maybe even growing some plants in the classroom. And all of a sudden you're thrown in this class, and day one it's about metrics and measurements and grams and kilos and kilometers, and you're following along, and then it quickly goes to something like solar insolation, asteroid belts, and things like foci and ellipses, and then moves on to sedimentation and sedimentation rate and boulders versus pebbles, permeosity versus porosity, other terms like subduction zones, plate tectonics, it goes on and on, eccentricity. So you have a lot on your plate. And then the other issue is in all your academics is it's a short time period. Your academic year has been cut as a result of lots of recesses, lots of holidays, superintendent days. So it's great. Everybody needs a break. We like to be off. But the reality is when you try to do consistency in anything, if there's constant breaking, it has a tendency, you're going to forget things. You're going to lose the edge. If you were a championship tennis player, if you were a UFC fighter at the top of your game, well, guess what? They're trained continuously. They don't suddenly just stop in the middle of they're doing great and they have a fight coming up in 2 weeks, a national title, or a championship at Wimbledon or NASCAR, and they just, I'll take 2 weeks off and go to the Bahamas. I don't think it happens like that. There's a method, there's a continuous training. And just the same, if you're here thinking, well, why do I need to look at this video, and why would I want to partake in lessons offered through this site with somebody and even pay for that, God forbid? Well, once again, these same fighters and champions and racers, they have trainers. They're the top of the game, the best boxer in the world. He'll have a trainer. He'll have a coach. It's just the way it is. Millions of people go to gymnasiums and they hire trainers. Sure, all the equipment's there. Go do it yourself. Here's the Earth Science book. Here, go do it. But the truth is, a lot of us, it doesn't work like that. We need some coaching. We need guidance, especially when we're trying to accomplish, getting that top grade. So keep that in mind. And once again, like I say, it's not all your fault that you're here. Your year is limited, your time is limited. You also have a lot on your mind. If I didn't mention, a lot of you are in athletics or after-school programs. You're working on other projects for other classes. You have term papers due. Maybe you're on vacation in the middle of the year and you forgot everything. You lost your books. Might have been some personal tragedy, sadly. You're worrying about dating. You want to make the team. So you have all this pressure on you and these breaks and the changing of the seasons, right? And you're suddenly supposed to remember all this terminology in time for the Regents. Well, the Regents is significant. You need to pass the course, but you also should be passing the Regents. That's an academic record. All your Regents are on the record. So you want to take proper training, prepare properly, so that you walk in that day, I think it's June 15th this year, you walk in confident, no sweat. And you'll be done before everybody else because you will have trained. You've put in the time, okay? And then you can come home and brag about, hey, I think I did great, and tell family, friends, and it's a lot less pressure on you. But it's preparation, just like the athlete, just like the professional in anything. You're preparing, you're reviewing, you're staying on it, you're not stopping, okay? So anyway, further on, keep in mind, Earth Science is all about process. It is technically all interconnected. Whether you're talking about the radiation of the sun or weathering of rocks or a tectonic plate even, the tectonic plates. There is a connection to all the sciences and the processes. So you're trying to catch all of that, all right? In any case, I ask that you do your part. So here I'm just introducing the idea. Your part's going to be that should you go forward and partake in some of the programs I have, and that includes doing a full Regents together. And not one, I'll have many of them. But you'll need an hour and a half. Now, the beauty of it is kind of like being tutored at home in a way, because you can do it at home on your own time, right? You have your laptop or your home computer, what have you. You can open up that Regents exam, that practice exam with me that we take together. You can be coached through it. But I understand, you have other plans, pause it, you can come back. That's the beauty of that. Now, I home tutored hundreds of students over the years. And there always had to be a set time or no lesson, right? It has to be a set time. In addition, a parent or guardian had to be present. It's not easy for everyone. So, and that lesson was just that one lesson. And they averaged $40, $50 a lesson. So I'm going to provide something here much more academically sound, much more, let's say, affordable. And you have that control mechanism of the timing of when to do it. Weekend, night, in between, whenever you have to do that. So that's the beauty of it. But remember, you have the books, you have the class you're in. You can go online, find Earth Science Regents help as well. And I've seen a fantastic, I don't know the professor's name, I forget, but I'd like to tell him how great a job he did and his team. They put together online, if you look at Earth Science Help, beautiful copies of exams. They got all the answers. They've got some explanatory stuff there. But the truth is, how well are you going to do if I gave you even a couple of Regencies? Here, here, and here's the answers, go to it, or just run through it. Not going to work because you're trying to memorize. If you haven't put in any time in the topic study, or you're cutting class, or not going to class, or didn't pay attention, at least try, you're just going into some exams and you say, okay, I'm going to memorize answers when I see that question. Well, the truth is, the people who write the Regents, they're a little smarter than that. And they can ask you some questions, a dozen different ways. And if you don't know the material, you'll miss it. So put in the time, learn at your pace, what have you, but go and get that 90 at the Regents. Don't settle for 65, just passing. You can do it. Got to have a little faith in yourself. Put a positive attitude in. This is how I had all the kids in summer school too. And they came from all over, and they paid hundreds of dollars to be in summer school. And then you had the distractions of the massive rainstorms, coming into class. You had distractions of the heat, and if the air conditioner didn't work, you had all sorts of things. They want to go to the beach or go climbing, whatever. And they were stuck for 4 hours with me. Imagine that. You're going to have the option to pause and leave. 4 hours stuck with me. Maybe a little break. But you have to put in that time. And by seeing those summer students, in that category, as well as the annual during the year. The summer is interesting because you can focus on the targeted areas that the students are having the trouble with. And that's some of the experience I want to give to you. I can show you the types of questions or the concepts that, on the average, more than the bulk of students have trouble with, the questions they miss. So that's what I'm going to give you here. So if you feel that's going to help, and if you feel like, just like a professional who needs a trainer to bring up his game, to do well, I'm going to offer you that. I'm going to go from here. This is just introductory. There'll be a secondary introductory where I show you some questions. Okay? And you get a little feel for how we work together. And the diagram will be the exam will be directly in front of you with the reference table. My eyes will be your eyes and vice versa. We'll be looking at the material. I'll be coaching you through it. And I believe that's the best way to experience the practice Regents. I will also have some lessons on particular areas, okay? And that'll be of help to you as well, as needed. It's pick and choose. What you need, go as far as you want to. It's here for you. Once you have it or buy it, you own it. Review it. Go back to it as need, especially right before the Regents. And believe me, some of these Regents, they're getting tougher. I'm seeing over the years some of the questions. I mean, they can only cover what's in the material or what's kind of presented, but the ways to ask it can get awfully tricky. So you need to be prepared. All right, as you do for all your exams, all right? So I'm looking forward to helping you. I'm looking forward to you to joining me in these upcoming lessons here for you. I've tried to make it as simple as possible, and all I can say is good luck. Let's go forward. Let's learn. Let's put on the glasses, what have you, safety glasses, and let's get to it. Bye.